Hi there, in today's video we are going to talk about the significant weather charts. By the end of the video you will know what are these SiGWX charts, okay? You will understand what are them, why do we use them every day flying, okay? And how can you actually understand what are those symbols that you see in these significant weather charts. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
V1 rotates.
Hi there, I'm Gabriele from PILOTCLIMB.com. I help you to become a better pilot. So if this is what you want to do, consider subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support my job, please give it a like to the video because this really helps the channel to grow. Okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna tell you very quickly what is the significant weather chart, but then we jump into the whiteboard and we will make a practical example where we analyze a significant weather chart. Okay? What are them? Are charts that basically I used every day when I go flying, where you can actually see what are the significant weather phenomena along your route in the area that you are flying, okay? So these charts are extremely important because they show you exactly where a thunderstorm could be, where a jet stream could be, where icing could be, turbulence. So it's a chart that you need to check before going flying in order to make sure that the area that you are flying is clear of weather. And if it is not clear of weather, you make sure you are aware of the situation, okay? You have this chart actually covers different layers, okay? So for example, the chart that the airliners, okay, they normally use is the mid-significant weather chart. What does it mean? Is that is a chart that covers from threat level 100 all the way up to threat level 450, okay? Then we have another chart which is the high-level significant weather chart, which covers from threat level 250, for example, all the way up to threat level 630. So guys, as you can see, within this we did this from threat level 100 in our case to threat level 450. We have actually all the significant weather that is in there, okay? We don't only see clouds and cumulus, we just really see significant weather. So we are talking about cumulonimbus, thunderstorms, you know, very heavy stuff like volcanic ash, any other significant weather that the pilot should be aware of, okay? But now, too much talking, let's jump right into the whiteboard and let's make the practical example. Okay, so as you can see, guys, in here we've got a significant weather chart, okay? I know at the first look it might seem complicated, but I will make sure that we're gonna break it down and I'll make it very easy for you to understand. Okay, so as you can see, guys, we've got this box. Okay, these boxes in here. Okay, and these are boxes where you've got informations and advisory informations. Okay, we're gonna break first. We're gonna understand what is these boxes in there, and then we're gonna have a look on the chart, and then we're gonna see how can you actually understand what is written in there. Okay. So the first thing that we need to understand is that the first box in here, okay, this part in here, it says Papa Golf Delta Echo 14. This is the identifier of the chart, okay, so it's the number of the chart. Then we've got Echo Golf Romeo, guys. This is basically who issued the chart, okay? Because we need to understand, guys, that with the significant weather chart, there are these centers, they're called Weather Area Forecast Center, this WAFC, oh, sorry. Let me put it back again. So as you can see, guys, in there we've got this WAFC, okay, these centers, okay, this World Area Forecast Center. We've got two centers that they actually cover the whole globe about the significant weather, okay? So they are big centers. One is in London, the other one is in Washington. That their job is actually to forecast and make sure we've got this type of chart and forecast weather, okay? So beautiful. So this Echo Golf Romeo is stating us that this chart has been issued by the Weather Area Forecast Center of London in this case, okay? Then we move to the right. In there we've got the 080600 is the day, so 08 is the day and 0600 is the time of the observation of the weather, okay? So when the forecast was made, okay, so they observed the weather that day and that time and they made a forecast for this weather, okay, for this chart. Beautiful. So then if we go down, we've got this actually box in here, and this is an information. So what is saying? Who issued the chart? The chart was issued by the World Area Forecast Center of London, as we said, provided by the Weather Area Forecast Center of London, and then we've got fixed time prognosis chart is other information. Then we have got ICAO area Euro segment weather is, as you can see, this is Europe, okay, so this is Spain in here, you can see Spain in there, okay. It's not very clear because we've got all these weather information there. This is Italy, as you can see in there, okay. Well, this is Corsica, but that's another topic, okay. And then we've got basically the Eurozone, okay. Then what we've got here, this chart is valid from flight level 100 to flight level 450, and it is exactly what I was telling you, okay. That's the airline pilots normally we check this chart from flight level 100 to flight level 450. Then below that we've got the validity is valid 06 o'clock, okay, 0600 UTC on the 9th September 2021. Okay, now here we need to say something very important, that this significant weather chart, okay, the weather that you can see in the chart in there, okay, is valid, okay, the chart is valid from 0600 UTC. However, that weather you can use it 3 hours, you can use this chart to forecast your weather 3 hours before the validity and 3 hours after. So we can say that this chart is actually usable from 0300 UTC all the way up to 0900 UTC, because it's a forecast, okay, it's not an observation, it's a forecast, okay. Beautiful. So let's say you're flying on the 9th of September 2021 at 5 o'clock UTC, you can still use this chart even though it's 1 hour before the validity of the chart, okay, because these charts are actually available, usable 3 hours before the validity and 3 hours after as well, okay. Okay, then guys, if you go down in here, we've got this part in there, which is the advisory information. What is telling us this box in here, what we can actually have within the weather, okay. So let's try to read that, okay. So it says CB's cumulonimbus implies thunderstorm, grains, moderate or severe turbulence and ice. So what is it saying? Every time we see the word, the letter CB, like in this case in there, or this case in there, okay, we might have severe turbulence, we might have ice, thunderstorms, and so on, okay. Then below that is saying units used 18 feet in flight levels, okay, so it's flight level. I mean, a lot of video where I explain what a flight level is. Check SiGWX advisory for tropical cyclones and volcanic ash and ash dam, and NOTAM for volcanic activity, okay, so volcanic ash. So what is it saying basically? That we need to check the SiGWX for any cyclones, tropical cyclones, any volcanic ash, we need to check the ash dam, okay. So what happens is that we might have as well in the significant weather chart any volcanic eruptions, okay, activity. So if you look at that, you can in the significant weather chart you have the information about what volcano is actually active. However, in order to make sure we get the full understanding of the volcanic ash activity, we should check this ash dam, which is another type of information where you really found the volcanic activity information in there. So where the age of the volcanic ash, the dimension, and so on, okay. Then going down says CAT, means it's not a CAT, it's clear air turbulence areas, okay. Then we've got the numbers in here 1 and 2, and it says, you know guys, as you can see, we've got this symbol in there, okay. It is very important in a significant weather chart because we've got a lot of symbols, okay. If you don't recognize a symbol when you are gonna actually check a significant weather chart, simply Google significant weather chart symbols and you're gonna get all of them very well explained. It's not my goal today to show you all the symbols because it's gonna take 1 hour to show all of them, and it's not really worth it because there is nothing to explain really, okay. You simply need to associate that symbol to a weather phenomenon, okay. So in that case we've got moderate turbulence, okay. This kind of a wing symbol is moderate turbulence, okay. So depending on the number, as you can see, we've got a moderate turbulence from flight level 260 to flight level 400. So whenever you see number 1, let me check the chart where the number 1 is here, for example, okay. You see here, so in this area, this dashed line in there, okay, that means that within this area we've got moderate turbulence from flight level 260 all the way up to flight level 400. Why this is important is because if you're flying around this region and you're flying on a flight level between 260 and 400, expect moderate turbulence, okay. So beautiful. Now let's carry on. Then on the number 2 there, guys, is still again moderate turbulence from flight level 250 to flight level 350. So 10,000 feet between 250 and 350 where you gonna have moderate turbulence. What is important again, because if you're flying, for example, a route that is going like that, you will see that this dashed line is the area 2, okay, and within this area in there, you're gonna have moderate turbulence from flight level 250 to flight level 350. All right, beautiful. Now that we took the informations out of the way, let's actually look at the chart. Okay, so guys, as you can see in the chart, we've got these very strange clouds. Like for example, let's take this example in here. So we've got, as you can see, this is a cloud. Okay, this is a part, this is another cloud in there, you see. Okay, this is another cloud in there, this is another like portion of the like another cloud. Okay, but these are not really the clouds. Okay, what actually they indicate. So as you can see, for every cloud, let's call it cloud, but they are not clouds. Okay, for every kind of shape in here, okay, this shape in here, for example, let's analyze this one. Okay, for this shape in here, as you can see, there is this arrow in there, and then we've got this box in there. Okay, so what does it mean? Every time you find these shapes, okay, you need to find out where the arrow is and then look at the weather that is inside there. So what does it mean is that within this area, okay, this one, all right, we have this type of weather inside. Okay, so what is this weather? So this weather is this symbol we said is moderate turbulence. Okay, so again guys, Google the symbol of the significant of the chart. Okay, so it's moderate turbulence. Then we've got now XXX and then 180. What does it mean? Whenever the weather is observed on a level that is not covered by the chart, because again guys, don't forget this chart is valid from flight level 100 to flight level 450. Okay, whenever there is a significant weather phenomenon that is observed below the flight level 100, since we cannot get the base of that weather phenomenon, they're gonna put XXX. So that means that this weather phenomenon, in this case moderate turbulence, starts from a flight level that is below level 100. Okay, so in this case the moderate weather is from below flight level 100, okay, lower than flight level 100, all the way up to flight level 180 in this area. Okay, in this area there. Then we've got this symbol in here. It indicates a moderate ice. Okay, so this symbol is moderate ice, guys, and it goes from flight level 100 to flight level 180. Okay, so we already know that if you are flying in this area, let's say you're flying from Madrid, which is around here, you're going to Dublin, okay, and there we go. So you're going from so you're going from Madrid and you're flying to Dublin, so you know that this is gonna be your route pretty much. So what will happen is that you're gonna fly inside this area, and if you're flying between flight level 100 and 180, in this area you might expect moderate turbulence and moderate ice. Okay, beautiful. Now let's have a look of another one, right? So let's have a look of let me see, because here we go. So as you can see in here, let's have a look at this shape in here. Okay, so this shape, what is telling us? So what we need to do, we need to look at the arrow, follow, oh my god, sorry guys. So we need to look at the arrow and then go all the way down there, and you will see this box in there. This box in there indicates you what you've got inside this area. Okay, again, it is very important to understand that if you're flying inside that area, if your route is going inside that area, it's very important to know that what's the weather like inside this shape. Okay, so in this case is saying, okay, occasional, or Oscar Charlie November Lima is occasionals. Okay, again guys, it is very important that you actually get to know all these kind of symbols and codes, okay, because without them you will not be able to know exactly what's the weather like inside these clouds and these weather phenomena. Okay, but again, if there's anything that you don't get, just Google that code and then you will get the answer very quickly. Okay, so occasional CBs below level 100 up to flight level 350. So what does it mean? It means that within this area you can have CBs, okay, occasional CBs, that starts, the base of the CB is lower than flight level 100 up to flight level 350. So if your route goes something like that, guys, you will know that passing this area you might have to avoid weather, because you have these occasional CBs that are starting the bases lower than 100 all the way up to flight level 350. What's the problem with the CBs, guys, is that within the CBs you expect ice, turbulence, thunderstorms, grains and so on. Okay, good. Now let's have a look of another phenomenon here. Here we go. Look at this. So in here we have this small shape in here. Look at the arrow, and the arrow is gonna bring us to that box in there. Okay. So what says this box? The box says that within this area we have isolated, embedded cumulonimbus with a base below flight level 100 all the way up to flight level 320. So we know already that within this small part, okay, we might have isolated, okay, embedded CBs. What does it mean? Is that this is a more difficult. Embedded means that the CBs are hiding behind other type of clouds. So let's say you have a cloudy skies, okay, like with stratus clouds, for example, but behind these stratus clouds we have these CBs. They are a little bit more difficult to spot because you cannot see them by looking outside, because if the sky is covered by clouds, okay, then inside these clouds you have a CB, is a little bit more difficult to spot, and that's what is warning us, okay, it's telling us, listen, in this area you might have isolated embedded CBs with a base lower than 100 all the way up to flight level 320. Okay, so in this case it's a little bit more difficult to spot them because they're behind a cloudy sky. Okay, so you need to check very carefully the weather radar in that case. Okay, so again, let's make another example just to make sure that everything is clear. So in this area here, for example, okay guys, so as you can see the arrow is in there and says isolated embedded CB from lower than flight level 100 all the way up to flight level 380. So we know that in this area we have these CBs again, then we've got this one as well, is the same, okay, isolated embedded CB, lower than 100 up to 350. So it depends where you're flying, guys. So now that you looked at the charts, okay, what you have to do is, okay, listen, we've got, if you're flying from here, for example, okay, let's make this example, from here to London, okay, you are doing this route in there, and as you can see, if you are doing this route, okay, from northeast of the chart all the way up to the center of the chart, you will face this problem in here, this weather in there, this weather in there, this weather in there, and that weather in there. So you might expect a busy day, okay. However, if you fly from Rome all the way up to somewhere like to Moscow, you will see that in this case the area here around is clear. Okay, so it's very good, you know, a significant chart, because it tells you straight away what's gonna be the weather like on your route. Okay, beautiful. So now let's have a look at other information that you might spot in here. So we've got, as we talked already about these dashed lines in there, okay, these dashed lines indicate the clear air turbulence. That means that within this area you might expect clear air turbulence. What are the level? Again, as we said in the pile just a few minutes ago, the number 2, you look here, the number 2, and you have moderate turbulence from 250 to flight level 350. Okay, beautiful. Now, I'm sure you spot already, let's make this example of this big arrow in there, okay? This big arrow in there indicates the jet streams, okay? The jet streams are big corridor in the atmosphere where the wind is super strong, okay? So as you can see, this jet stream starts from this position and ends up in this position and is going in that direction in there, okay? Why it is important to know where the jet streams are is because if you're flying from here to there, okay, from this part to that part of your route, you might expect a very high headwind, so you might burn more fuel, okay? But how much is this headwind? Sorry, the headwind, you can spot the intensity of the headwind on this indication here, because every triangle indicates 50 knots. Okay, so this is 50 knots, this is another 50 knots, and then this line in there, guys, is 10 knots. Thus, if you look at it, it's got 50, 50, 100, plus 10, 110 knots. That means that in that region, there is this big corridor of air, of wind going at 110 knots at a level of flight level 320. Alright, guys? So as you can see, if you're flying at flight level 320 and you're flying on the opposite direction on that route there, you might expect 110 knots of headwind, okay? And you should take that into consideration when planning your flight, okay? Okay, so in this case, guys, let's have a look at this other jet stream in there, okay? As you can see, this jet stream has got an intensity of 50 plus 50. That means that this jet stream is at 100 knots, flight level 380, okay? So then we've got another jet stream in here, okay? This jet stream there is another 100 knots of jet stream at flight level 300, okay? And then we've got this other jet stream in there, another 100 knots at flight level 350, okay? When we're flying, okay, the flight planning guys, the guys that make the flight plans, they really try to check this jet stream in order to make sure that our routes are optimized, okay? They are very efficient, okay? Because as we said, on the, if you're going, let's say, from the east to the west, so like that, for example, you're gonna have headwind. But if you go in the opposite direction, you're gonna have 100 knots of tailwind. So this will make a huge difference on your fuel burn, okay, in your trip fuel for the flight, okay. Okay guys, then we've got these 450, 400, 400 these squares in there, all the information. As you can see, they are all over the place, and this is the tropopause limits, okay. So you will see how is the atmosphere, and as you can see already, the southern you go, the higher is the atmosphere, because in this southern region in here you've got 450, 450, 450 as a tropopause limit. However, in the north you've got 350, so it's already 10,000 feet of difference on the tropopause, okay. If you don't know what is the meaning of any symbol of any acronym of the significant chart, just have a look and make sure you just have a look in Google them, okay. You will get straight away the information, okay. So you know what is this symbol, you know how to read this, all these sections in here, okay. You know what is this, you know, like for example this part in here, there is always gonna be an arrow there, okay, that indicates what's the weather like inside, okay. So on the little flight plane, guys, what we've got now is that when we actually download the flight plane, we have our route depicted and indicated already in the chart. What I mean by that is, if you fly from Tenerife, for example, all the way up to London, what will happen is that you're gonna have your route with all the flight planes, all the waypoints indicated on the chart as well. So you will spot straight away what weather is gonna be like on your route, okay? What weather you can expect, what significant weather you can expect along your flights, okay? So guys, very quickly, in order to resume all of this, you know, the significant weather charts are very important in order to spot, okay, if there is any significant weather along your flights, okay. Again, you've got this mid significant chart, this high significant chart, but normally we always use the mid ones because the flight is normally between flight level 100 and flight level 450 all the time, okay. This significant weather chart, you've got a significant weather chart which is issued basically every 6 hours, okay. You've got one at 00 UTC, 06, 012, 18, and another one at 00, okay. Okay guys, I hope you now understand a little bit better what is the significant chart and how to read them, okay. If you have any question, leave a comment below and then I will help you out. Also go to PILOTCLIMB.com where you can subscribe for free pilot training content. I wish you a great day and I'll see you in the next one.